All right, so we'll see you look at the participants, the coaches will start filtering in the room here.
So is there a way for me to just put this on to see my face and not the full screen here? That's the part I don't. I usually when
if you stop sharing the screen, it'll go to just you here, and then when you share, it'll go back to the screen.
Oh, I got it. That's pretty cool. Okay. We don't use web. We use that WebEx here. We have
okay.
At the university we have to. All right.
Guys, I see you filtering into the room. We'll get going in about a minute here. Give a quick introduction and turn it over to Coach so he can do his thing.
Sounds good. So I can see. Oh, I got it. It's right down here. It's 27 participants. All right.
Yeah, and that usually grows here over the course of the hour, and then we have a whole bunch of guys who will watch us on a replay too. So,
yeah.
But it's nice to have guys in the room and be interactive and ask questions. And coaches, make sure you do that. Thank you to everybody who's been participating in this. The interactivity has been great. I know the coaches who are on the other end appreciate that, because otherwise they just feel like they're talking to a screen. Remember that you can get access to this. We have extended it. There will be a phase 2, so you're going to see the schedule run out tomorrow, but we'll quickly fill that up again, since it seems like we are going to be sequestered here a little bit while longer. So we will keep helping you develop professionally. This is all free, and we keep it free till we close down the virtual summit. After that, you can have lifetime access to it by a donation. Right now that's set up for Lawrence First and Goal, which is the defensive coordinator at Army, John Luce. It's a foundation he set up, and he has about 300 coaches a year work that camp, which is usually in June. Unfortunately, it's been canceled for this year, and they raise over $100,000 each year by these college coaches volunteering their time to work at camp, and all the money goes to Lawrence First and Goal, which has been set up to fund research for pediatric brain tumors, something that his daughter has, and Lauren is his daughter, so it's become the Lauren First and Goal Foundation, a really good cause. So after this, I know you're going to want access to these videos, and you can have that with a donation to Lawrence First and Goal. I'm really excited to have Coach Cummings here, the offensive line coach at Central Michigan, and a great topic today. I know pin and pull has been something really becoming something that coaches like to use, whether you're just running it or doing RPOs with it, but it's all set up and how you block it, and that's what Coach is going to talk about today. So Coach Cummings, thank you again for taking time and participating, and I'm going to turn it all over to you.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks. Good morning to everybody. Here's what I want to discuss what we're going to do this morning first. This is this obviously this new technology is great. Okay. I know it's a little cumbersome for some people. We've been doing it for a couple of weeks now. We've had an opportunity to have meetings with players. Some of the cool stuff, and maybe you guys are doing it too, is having the opportunity to actually either Zoom or WebEx or whatever the platform is, being able to reach out to other coaches and talk, and we've been sharing video and so forth. So, kind of whatever's getting you down, come talk to other coaches. I mean, that's what we do. I know everyone's working from home, and we really do work. So Saturday's a great time to do a clinic like this and kind of do some sharing. I want to tell you about myself a little bit. Okay, I've coached at all levels of football. I was a high school coach way back. All right, I've coached at Division II, Division III, FCS, and FBS. Okay, so I understand the challenges of what we're going to talk about. Okay, because I've had to teach them at different levels. All right, and some of the things we're going to do here, you're going to see guys, they have different levels of capabilities and so forth. They're better than others. We know that. But I want to share really what we're going to talk about today is the pin and pull and teaching it. All right. And the number one would be we'd go communications, right? And that's a big piece of what we do on the pin and pull based on what the front is, who we're going to pull, et cetera. The targeting, what surface you would use on the particular defenders that you're blocking. So really it's technique. It's communication, who and how. All right. And now we've got the RPOs built off of this. I mean, that's not really something I want to get into. That's for another time maybe. But what we're going to do with this video is this. I'm going to kind of describe what we do, put the plan in. Here's how we run this. Here's what we call it. After that, I'm going to show you some individual, okay, how we begin the individual. Then we're going to go to group, and then we're going to go to some competitive periods, some game film and so forth. So we can go ahead and detail all that out. So I know we got questions. I want to get going. I don't want to do a lot of philosophy, but I just wanted you to know kind of where we're going with this. So hang with me here. If I screw this up, obviously I have no one to blame but myself. So here we go. Let's try and do this here. To share. Okay. Now, Keith, you're going to have to help me on this because I think I'm sharing. All right. Let's try this again. Well, I'm going to need help because I can't see it now. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so we'll start it off this way. All right, so I'm gonna go to a full screen right here, and I've got some slides and so forth put together by Ben DeBastiani. Okay, he's an unbelievable graduate assistant I have, and he was able to put this together for us quickly. So we'll take a look at it. Okay, so we're talking about pin and pull schemes. All right, the first thing I want to do is describe what that is. Okay, and regardless of what the backfield looks like here, guys, this is really what we're doing. Okay, and then we look at a pin and pull scheme as a man scheme. Okay, so in essence, everybody's involved and assigned to a man, right? So, for example, our tackle is assigned to the 3 technique, our guards assigned to the SAM, etc. It's mostly man, okay? We talk about man on the front side and generally zone on the back side while we're still involved in assignments to a particular man. Okay, now there's coaching points on pin and pulls, okay? So there's always going to be a down blocker. There's always going to be a puller, right? So we talk to the down blockers this way, whether that's going to be the guard, the tackle, or even the tight end. Okay, down blocks are the pin blocks. And I think what's important is you teach them that the pin blocks are to keep them where they are blocks, okay? These are not kill shots, all right? And although, it looks fun to do, and sometimes you do get a good shot, we have to be able to protect against the defender moving, all right, where we miss, all right? So we talk about settling with our inside foot, okay? Now, this is not a slow down. I'll show you some individual where it's really slowed down, but we need to be able to just settle with your inside foot and adjust to the defender's movement, meaning defender goes inside, I adjust and drive him inside and uses momentum. Defender goes outside, okay, I play long, which is the next part of this slide right here where I'd go ahead. I want to be able to use my hands on this. All right. Now, generally in run blocking, you don't play long, but we talk about we can play long when we down block as the defender comes over the top because that's the only way to square the shoulders. Okay. So we talk with pressing with the outside arm. And one of the great quotes, I'm sure you all use it, is 1 arm is longer than 2. If you've never heard it, you could just try it by sitting here right now. You can extend both arms and then extend 1 arm and you can get it longer. All right. Now, coaching points for this. Pullers, get depth to get away from any penetration. How deep is that? I don't know. Get away from the penetration. If you've got a tackle pulling and you've got a tight end, you may need to get more depth if your tight end's not, an astute blocker. Okay. If you're the guard, get away from the tackle down block, and we'll show you we pull the center as well. All right. We always attack the play side number of the defender. We have to give them a target, and then we give them adjustments. Okay. All right. Next. All right. So here's the big part of the conversation at this point. All right. We have to be able to assign, and it's going to be based off of a Mike linebacker. Okay. So that's our starting point for it. Okay. The Mike linebacker. Okay. And why do we do that? Well, there's got to be communication on this. So we say that our Mike or our point linebacker is the middle of the 3 or the backside of 2. All right. So that starts it. All right. So I'll explain this. I'll go over the calls, but in essence, what it is, if we give the Mike, okay, we give the Mike, the next combination pulls for 1 past the Mike, and the next combination goes 1 minus the Mike. And that's the reason that we do that. All right. And we base our pullers off the leverage that we have relative to the Mike. Okay. So front side, if we look at it right here and we said, for example, we would have a tag call, all right, where our tackle's going to come down and our guard's going to go ahead and he's going to pull around. Well, it's all going to be based off the Mike. Who would he pull for? Well, once he knows who the Mike is, he just finds the next defender. And that's a critical piece because on this drawing right here, it does say Sam, Mike, and Will. But in today's game, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Sam linebacker is who you're going to block, right? Could be the Buzz safety coming down, right? So it's why we use a +1 and a -1 type of combination. Okay, so this would be one example of what we're doing. Okay. The other block we have is we have a TED block where our tight end comes down and it's a tight pull for the tackle. Okay. And then we zone the backside. So these are just examples. Let's go over them. All right. So if we pulled the front side tackle with the tight end down on the defensive end, we made a TED call. If we pulled the guard, we called it tag. If we pulled it center, we called it playboy. If we pull the backside guard, we say you. And if our front side guard reaches and the tackle pulls, we called it tent. Okay. So those are just words. I mean, you could use those words. And look, if you're using those words and you think it would give the play away, just make the call in the naked and you're good. Okay. So the key point about all this right now at this point is finding out who the combinations would be relative to the Mike. So right here, we're on 17G full. All right. So our center goes ahead and identifies, okay, there's the Mike. That's who I want to block. Tackle at that point knows, tackle and guard on that side know, hey, we've got +1 to that side. Perfect. Now, who's got leverage? Well, if the center could reach the nose, he would. He can't. So he's going to playboy to his assignment, which we call the Mike. The tackle now will tent that. He's going to pull outside, and he's going to pull for the +1. Okay? Now, the drawing on the right, this is a big deal right here. We'll run this play to a nub side. And as you know, that corner a lot of times will try and get involved. If we feel that that corner is a real player, okay? In other words, we think that we need to block him to get that play started, okay? We will go ahead and we will push the point to that defender, all right? Now, if anybody wants an easy rule, okay, and what I feel is an easy rule anyway, to get this play blocked, I always told the center, look, your rule is Mike is middle of 3 or the backside of 2, or he's always to the shade, okay, which this rule holds up. Okay, and I can talk about that later on if you guys would have some questions. And by the way, if you're asking me a question right now, I can't see it on full screen, so we'll take a break here as soon as I get, let's go right before the video. Okay, all right, so this is how we get our pin and pull, okay? So we've got a playboy to this side because that's who I identified as the Mike. That's our circle defender where the center will block. The tackle knows, hey, I've got +1, and we're good to go. Now, going through this, now this, I'm talking about the front side of this right now. Let me just clean this up on the back side, okay? So from here forward, this is our man side or our pin where we have our pins and our pulls, okay, on both these diagrams. So the diagram on the left here, okay, these are just zone block combinations. You might call them a slip, a scoop, a B1, whatever your call is, okay? But we've identified where we want the pin and pull to go, to the Mike and the +1. Now, on the backside, these calls now, as I said earlier, were going to be to, well, shit, that's -1. That's +1, that's -1, or 1 past, or however you do it, okay? So now our guard knows, hey, the center identifies the Mike on this one right here, all right? He's pulling for that one. Now our center knows, well, okay, then our B or our slip or our scoop is going to the next defender. So not only do we say, you know, that's the Mike, we call the jersey number, which I'm sure everybody does anyway, so that we know we're working to. And it's as simple as the center just calling out the number and making the call, okay? All right, so good talk. That's the biggest piece of this play to start, okay? A couple other looks in here, okay? So we go to 3 down. This is one I want to identify right now. We always, as I said, we make our center work all right, on this play. In a 3-down look, he would be working to this backside backer, okay? So in 3-down, all right, in the 3-down, the Mike is on the backside. So now we change. So now the next puller has +1, and now the next puller has +2. And that is a little bit of a caveat in 3-down. Okay, we want to make sure that we're always consistent on where that center is working. We want to say, where's the center going? Now I can set my rules up based on the center's block. Okay, a couple other looks in here. So if the Mike is the middle of 3, and you'll see a couple of these here, the center has 2 things he can do. If he feels he can work to the Mike, his work, he can go. Okay, these are examples of calls. I mean, we could change them up, but quick just means he's getting out of there. So always the players even ask, what's the technique? I said, get out of there. I've seen guys turn their shoulders and jump out of there because they felt they could get there. If they can't, they can always pull even with the 3 technique. And I'll show you that where we work that combination in there. Okay, and again, we zone this on the backside. So the big caveat to the whole process is really when you get into this 3-down right here, and where we're putting our center's work, which is on the backside. And that's our rule, obviously, however you want to do it. So let's get into some individual drills here. And I'm going to just click this and see if I got a question on this at all. Q&A, I got 3. Okay, good. All right, can you fold or have the backside pin and pull to get angles? Fold. So the question is, can you fold or have a U on the backside, pin and pull backside to get angles? Absolutely. And I think I have one in there. Okay. Next, are the pulls kickouts or more like isolation blocks? All right. Depends where the defender is. All right. If the defender is still in the box, it would be just a log. All right. If the defender flows, we're aiming for the play side number. If we can't get there, we'll push the back tip of the pad and create a space for the back to cut up. All right. Do you motion at all with this scheme? If it's so, does it make it difficult for the OL to adjust? Yes and yes. Okay, so we put a series of calls in there in the way we call a play so that we know that there's going to be some motion. So, for example, we may say 17G full alert. Oh, okay, so I'm alert that motion's coming over there, and I wouldn't change the point. Great question, though. All right, rules the same for the tight end. Yeah, the rules are the same for the tight end. He's going to block the defensive end, and that's a great point because I really didn't cover that. But the tight end blocks the defensive end. All right, that's it. All right, so great questions there. Okay, and I'll come back to these guys. So, yeah, okay, good. All right, so I'm going to go back to full screen, so we'll have to hold up. Now, I want to talk about how we teach this. Okay, now these are would be like 2 tackles right now. Let me go full on this here. All right, these would be like 2 tackles pulling, okay? And their assignment is going to be outside. This is just working with the footwork now, okay? So they're going to step with the play side foot, and they're going to work on an angle to the outside. And really what I've got is this is just a training video right now where these 2 tackles are going to work to the left, and I let them use play side footwork, crossover, and they're running downhill. So they would both be working, let's say, for that. I think that's a 6 right there, okay? So what they're doing is they're creating space. That's what we want to do. All right, create space and then run downhill. Okay. Now, the next one is a skip pull, and you can see right here that we've got our guys. So this would be an example of even a tackle and guard or 2 guards in skip pulling. Now we teach the skip pull by stepping back with the inside foot or the foot away from where you're going. These guys are going to the right, 16G full. Okay, they're going to step with the backside foot, and we want to remain square with our shoulders. Now, we all know that the most powerful blocks in this are going to be when you hit the defender flush, okay? So if our defender is in a position where we can hit him flush and with square shoulders, we choose to do that. And it also tightens up the angles right here for the ball going to the outside. So those are pulls, okay, on the left side, which we would end up calling a tent or a tess or a TED, okay? Let me go back on that one, okay? And this that one right there, okay, where you're going to see right here where they're going to step back, so they're going to get out. All right, they're looking to work outside on this. Sorry, guys, work outside, and then we're working for a defender inside on the right side. Okay, and yes, we are working to 66 there. Knows he's working to 69. Okay, and just so everybody knows, this is what the fields look like all the time. In fact, in January our fields look like that. All right. So good. All right, now just a point. I'm fortunate. We shoot a sideline angle of every competitive drill that we do. All right, and a big part of the pin and pull process was the depth of the depth of the blockers when they get off the line of scrimmage. So I thought I'd show this, and you can see right here where we've got our guard coming out, and his assignment is outside, so he steps with his left foot. Okay, we've also got, and this is the center pulling. Okay, so you can see the depth and the angles of what we're pulling for, and really this is to illustrate that here's your get away from the shit. Okay, I don't know if I can say shit on this, but I did. All right, get away from this to make sure. So how deep do you pull? Get away. I mean, you got to have a little bit of a process right there. Okay, it's not like a 2-yard pull or whatever. Okay, now we're working the individual pieces of it. Okay, so this would be like a tight end or a tackle coming down and a guard pulling, or a tight end and a tackle, for example. All right, but now we're working. This would actually be a guard here, and you can see the skip pull with the square shoulders, and this is on here to determine how we're stepping right here. Okay, now the aim point for us on this varies a little, but generally we're going to aim for the neck. Okay, and there's a spot right there through the helmet, ear hole to the neck. And we want to use our hands in there. Okay, what we don't want to do is turn completely down and allow that defender to come over the top. So there's a couple of shots in here. We're actually just teaching this play today, so a little bit slower. Now you can see right here, this actually is a little bit better with the footwork. Okay, and here's the key coaching point: this knee can't come open. All right. Now, there's going to be little differences in proficiency on this, but the knee can't come open because that'll bring the blocker on this angle, and he won't be able to adjust over the top. Okay? So if the aim point is going to be the neck of the defender, where do I put my hands? Well, on either side of where my target is. Okay? Simple to go. Okay? And then we have our guard here obviously pulling around. We got a youngster in there pulling through and getting his block. Okay. So now, this is an example of the center pulling, okay? So at this point, if you recall in the drawing, there was an inside shade here. The center's work was right there. That's where he's pulling. And we put the tackle in there just to get a little bit of work pulling to the outside with no defender. So our guard is going to have to step with inside foot and just settle it. Now, we need to really just settle this, not really drop it. But you can see right here as this defender comes over the top, we've got to play long with the left arm, all right? And we'll show some shots in there with the tackle doing the same. We pull the center flat on this, okay? Here's the coaching points on this center. The center pulls flat down the line. He needs to know where his assignment is. He's pulling flat. He's looking for a definition in the front, meaning there's a down block here, and we don't have it because we don't have the tight ends here, and a down block here. When he gets to that point, he snaps his eyes inside. All right? The issue that I have with it, if you look sooner than that, is that he's going to get too much depth and begin to square up. So here's another look at it happening right here, all right, where he just kind of gets pulled and he's flat. As soon as he gets past his block, he snaps his eyes. I believe strongly in that, and that's how to do it. Now, if you're looking at 68 right here, yeah, that's not what we want. Okay, you can see the knee opens the hip right here, and that foot's not on the ground. Pay close attention because I got it here in a half line drill where the exact same thing happens and he gets his ass knocked off. Okay. All right, move it. All right, so now we put this in there. We got a little bit of a half line with just our guys. So this is going to be our guard down, our tight end down. Yeah, we had the tight end off the line. So I pull with depth our tent block, and now I'm running what we call the playboy here. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so you can see the different footwork. So we showed 78 on the footwork on the first individual. We showed the center here. Center sees it. See his eyes snap in there right now. And I mean, I coach the hell out of this now because I really believe that if he starts looking too soon, he's going to get blown up by something that's in his face. And it is the term I used was healing, okay? Because initially when we ran this and, we wanted to just kind of come off our heel and run, all right? How much depth? I just get a little, okay? Honestly, the players will figure it out. This is what I've learned about running these plays is that when we run these plays, if you give someone the opportunity to pull, they're usually going to remember how to do it and find a way to get it. Okay. All right. Wait. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to another thing right here. All right. Will you pull the backside guard for the second pull? Yes, it's coming up. I got it. And we would, and that would be if the center is covered so heavy that we can't zone the backside. All right. And we feel the linebacker will run over the top. All right. In 10 personnel, would you pull the center against the 4-3? Probably wouldn't run this in 10 personnel. All right. Coach, even with no tight end, do you want the OL pulling that deep? Okay, I'm not going to run this play with no tight end. Okay, someone's got to set the point for us out there. So that's not something that we really do. All right. Do you have built-in keys for the ball carrier to read the offensive flow? Okay, if the play should break down by pulling linemen not being able to travel to where they should, where they're pulling, at what point does the ball carrier charge forward and get as many up? Great question. Okay, so I'm going to get to that on the competitive video, but I will tell you this right now: that running back's aim point, okay, he is going to run at the butt of the tight end and read that block. All right, so tight end's down, he works it to the outside. All right. If the tackle were to block down for some reason, the 3 technique flows over the top, he stays on that course, and we can stick it up inside. Run it to a 2-man, 3-man surface, 3-man surface. And if we had to build the 3-man surface from motion, we'd be good with that one too. All right. I don't have any examples of that necessarily. All right. So let's go back to this. This would be our half line stuff. Okay. Where I want to go over some of the more of the techniques that we have. Okay. All right, so these are things that we just practice, and we'll hit them right here. So you got your down block. Now I said you watch the 68. Remember he got his ass blown up, and there it is. And you can watch it. It's not great video, but you see his knee open up right here, not in the target. Okay, he's getting blown up. Okay, talk about the communication at this point. Now this is a 4 down front, 3-man surface. Absolutely, I've got a tackle in there right now because I wanted to. That would be the center's work. Center's decided I can get through. All right, fine. They make their tag call, and the guard's going to work outside. He's going to skip outside and square. Okay? So now, what does the running back read? Now, I like to run this, and we have it shown both ways. We'll run it out of the pistol, out of the dot, under center, and out of the gun. I do like it out of the gun because it can slow these backside linebackers down because we are showing that we have the opportunity to pull it with the quarterback, or as you know, throw the RPOs. Okay. What I liked about this was I had 2 things to show: the tackle not doing a great job, but we had this question. Okay. So what is the targets on these and how do we block them? All right. I don't remember exactly what it was, Coach, but basically if I aim for the play side number on this, all right, and this defender shows up outside, finish him outside and create that cut that's going to run off of the tight end's block. Okay. Another shot of it. Here. Okay, now this one right here was actually a lot better. The target's a little bit off by this, okay, but you can see right now we've got our guard, okay? We're going to tag this and pull our guard. Running back is reading the tight end's block. That's a definite inside the tight end's block. And our center is like, shit, I can't get there. So now he's going to pull as well, okay? And that's their call, okay? And there's where the running back would stick it. Okay, so that's where his upcut takes place. When the running back is offset from the pin and pull, initially it was an issue because, I didn't know if it timed up as well, but it actually sets us up better because it does slow down the pursuit on the backside by those backside linebackers. Okay, I'm going back to questions. Do you worry about more on this play, defender fighting over the down blocks or penetrating upfield? I guess the answer is probably over the top, because generally the ball carrier is coming across the plane and can escape that if there is some penetration. Same point in the pistol and offset, absolutely. Okay. Looks a little different in the pistol. I think that honestly, both of them, when they get the ball, they have their eyes on it. So at the mesh point, either one. Out of pistol, do you have the quarterback reverse out or too slow? No, we don't. We would open that, okay? And we actually term the play a little differently just to tell our linemen that it's under pistol, we're opening, they'll play faster. Do you run any tight end wing looks? Do you run any tight end / wing looks if that defensive end just can't be reached, or are you fine with cutting it up at the last clip showed? The answer is yes to both, okay? And if we can get that far, have some wing stuff where if we felt we really wanted to cut that and pin that and pull to the next defender to the outside, we would do that. How would it look versus an under front, okay, a 25 front? Okay, it would be the tackle down, the tight end down on the 5. The tackle would pull for +1, and the mic would be that bubble linebacker. Okay, whereas that would either be blocking down with the guard and pulling the center if he couldn't get that block, or pulling the center reaching with the center and pulling with the guard. All right, tailback full flow to play or underneath QB, then break. Full flow, then break. I think I understand that question. Okay, full flow. So he goes all the way. Let's check a couple of these out. All right, I'm doing good with time. All right, and we'll try and coach it off of this. Okay, so these competition. Great job, Ben, with these slides, by the way. All right, so this is a great one. Okay, so good look on it. Okay, so we're in 1 by 3, right? 1 by 3. All right, trying to distort the defense. And we're going to take a look at this front right here, and we're going to talk about the mic. Okay, the mic ID, the +1, the -1. Okay, and this is kind of level 2. All right, but you can see that there's 4 down. All right, good. Now, said Mike is going to be the middle of 3, the backside of 2. All right, so how do you look at this? Well, we told our center, look, if they're dropping a safety down, right, he's going to be the middle of the 3. So our center now has identified this as his assignment. This is going to be the +1 for our next puller, and this would be the -1 for the zone on the backside. So we're going to have our tackle look. They have a leverage right here. They make their call. We can get our guard to come out. Center can't really get there, right? So here's his call. He makes a call to get over there, all right? And there's the -1, so these two will run through, okay? And it also answers a little bit of that question about, you know, what are we reading, okay? So now the defensive end and the 3 technique come inside, okay? So a running back at this point, I mean, he's got it, right? End inside or pinned by the tight end. He's outside, okay? We know where our pulls are going to be. We actually probably could have had this guard right here open pull because he's outside, but he skipped it and turned. And now you're going to watch everybody try and hit their play side number target. All right, so we don't necessarily get there. He's going to hit the back tip of the pad. This one's okay, but you have a good look right now of the backside tackle, all right, could not get leverage. So he's going to push the back tip of the pad. And really, this is play long. And all we want to do is run him over the top because this is where I think we just had this question, all right? Where the back hits it, now he's going to hit his upcut, okay? Now, a couple years ago, I ran this play, and we said it was 3 steps past the mesh, okay? Is it? I'm not sure. I really believe these guys, as soon as they get in the offset, they see this, they can go ahead and begin to make their cut, okay? And so there it is. And obviously it's a good play like that. I mean, try not to show the bad plays, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's supposed to be a clinic, right? You only show the good stuff. All right, but I got some bad stuff too, just so we can work on it. Okay, so there it is. Okay, and you can see this. Now, we talked about the targeting. We talked about everybody else. Now, the big key I want you to look at right now is the eyes. All right, I coach, I go to individual, and Ben, who coaches the line with me, looks at it as well. He'll stand on the other side, or I will, and we check their eyes when they're running this stuff. Because the big deal is the eyes, okay? You got to have your eyes in the right spot, okay? It's communication, right? It starts with the eyes and you move forward. All right, so here's a look, another 1 by 3. And, yeah, this is an RPO type of deal right here. This is actually a 12 personnel. That's a tight end, okay? But you'll see what happens in this look right here. All right, so we want to take a look at the left tackle right here because this is where we talked about the down block and being able to play long if the defender comes over the top. You're going to watch this left guard because the left guard gets depth and pulls for +1. We actually put our center's work on this side, okay, and you'll see it. Now, this gets into communication, so let's talk about it. We felt at this point against this team, this was going to be some type of a supporting player, all right? Or he was a good enough player that we said, we got to block this guy. Look, sometimes we're not going to block him. We're going to just say, okay, our back on this guy, we'll take that. Okay, corner, we'll make the corner tackle. All right, but that's why we did that. Okay, now this is an RPO, so it's going to look a little different on the backside, so I had to set up my comments. Okay, good. All right, so center says, okay, I'm working here. Hey, whoever's pulling, you pull there. Now this is an RPO. All right, so run pass option. So we're going to read that guy. So we're not going to block him. We're going to block the end. So that's why this is going to look different. Okay, so our center needs to make a call that he's pulling. He gets out, and we block 1 and 2 on that side. Okay, now pay attention to this tackle right here. Listen, it's not all perfect, but it never is. But you can see him play long and finish. And this goes to your question, Coach, about what do you worry about? The cutting up or over the top, or it was inside penetration or the flow over the top. And that's why I say it's probably the flow over the top, because if we miss this play, okay, we're pretty loose on the inside with this cut, okay? But he stays connected, okay? And that allows our back now to cut this up and get a couple of yards, all right? And again, we're reading the tight end's block. So as he comes across, he reads this block, all right? Good. He's going to stay on that track, okay? Then follow his pullers. Okay, fine. If this defender flows over the top, he's just like he's a puller. So that's just great coaching right here. I'm just telling you. See, right there, he's got him. He's holding him. Just know when to let go. All right? And that was a joke, all right? I mean, nobody's in the room. We can't hear him laugh, so we don't know. All right. All right, I'm going to hit another one. So now we're in a 2x2 look. Okay. Now these are hey, let's clean these up and let's do these differently looks as well. All right. So this will end up being the center's responsibility. The mic, that's going to be the +1. Okay. We'll MDM this. Okay. And we may have some type of a throw on the backside. Okay. We got a little screwed up with our receiver here. He's actually running through to the safety, and it felt like this guy got in his way. All right. So we got a couple of really no-hitters here. Center made that guy the mic. Now let's go back to the teaching point of this. The mic or the center's work is going to be the backside of 2 or the middle of 3. Or as we said, the real simple rule was always to the shade. All right, so that's going to end up being the center's work. This is an easy one, right? Now, we got our guard, or the +1, the next puller. It'll be the guard here because there's a 3 technique. It's going to pull out and stay square. Now, issue by the guard right here, and this is why I want to make that point. You see the guard using not a skip pull, okay? He's using an open pull, as if the defender's way outside. And this is a mistake, in my opinion, okay? And the reason is this. When he pulls and has his shoulders turned, he can no longer hit this defender flush, okay? Now, if he'd have been in a square skip pull, all right, and we could have hit this guy right here, you can see the difference in the play. You see the back right here, you go, oh, shit, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2 would be our center just being on the ground, okay? And this is a little bit embarrassing. So this is probably just a quick call. So I want to go over what quick was. Quick, go, whatever your call is. I don't care what you do. Just get out of there. When you have to tell the backside guard, I'm out here, he's on his own. We're okay. All right, but don't step front side and get picked off by movement or maybe even your tackle down blocks. This goes back, Coach, your other question about worrying about the penetration or going over the top. This is a good look at it right there. I mean, obviously he gets picked off, but you can see where if this defender had come inside up the field, I don't believe we're ever going to get out leveraged on that. Okay, and we kind of tell them that. Now this is a decent play, right? We all see that. But what we're doing here is we could have made this even a better play because now we would have put this back in space sooner on this safety. All right, so on the backside of this, so we go over this now. This is just what we would call a SIF call or a double duty, where the tackle actually blocks the end until one past the mic comes over the top, and then he goes and blocks him. That's what I was saying. The running back the wide receiver should have actually been to that safety. Okay. Now, I want to just check eyes quick here, guys. I know there's a lot. Check eyes. Okay. Now I want you to look at the guard's eyes. They're really kind of out here, right? If he was square, we'd have eyes on, we'd have a better play. Okay. Key point for it, okay? Because everybody wants to pull. And I can't remember if I asked him why, but I'm going to bet that he thought, hey, look, it's an outside play. That guy's going to flow. And they don't always flow, right? They go ahead and they set the edge a little bit. Okay, another 2x2. All right, now you're going to run man schemes. This is what you're going to get. Okay, take a look at the defense. All right, there's going to be movement. There's going to be games and so forth, okay? And so on this one, look right here. We're going to pull the tackle and we're going to pull the center. All right, and I want you to watch this. Now, there's pizza involved in this, okay? Now, the assignment for this center, we said he's going to be the backside of 2, okay, or always to the shade. And we'll stay with that. And we can actually make a call for the tackle to move the point back if we want. All right, but he made the call to take the tackle and put the tackle out here and put himself right here, okay, and we're zoning the backside. All right, now, I got to go over this. We are really not zoning the backside on this particular play because this is another RPO, okay? So you'll see these two guys lock it, okay? So we're looking at the pin and pull combination on the front side, okay? So as the tackle comes through, okay, that's the center's work. He sees him there first. All right, so take him. And that's why the center's work is to go ahead and stay flat until he finds that first window. Okay, all right, so he comes around the tight end. That's his work. He's flat down the line, and he can now block number 2. And our wide receiver came and cleaned the guy out, so it was a little bit of a we probably could have made the call right there to push it back inside, but I thought it was good to see exactly how that would go on the video anyway, just for a demonstration purpose. I'll go back to questions. All right. Coach Baker, if you're having trouble with the tight end down block, will you double the hell out of a, say, 4 or 5 technique with a tight end and play side tackle to the point -1? Yes, but that's a different play. We do run that play, and we define it as a different play. All right, same thing as maybe it was a YY wing. We would cave that in. I've got some video on here of some of those plays that have a toss involved as well. Okay, where we do. Yes, great question. We would do that. Okay. All right, Coach Smiley, what's up? Do you guys ever throw on second-level defenders or just body them up and run by? Okay. Yeah, we're going to throw on them, but I got to be honest with you. Where you don't see it on the video is because I'm uptight because they put the rule in where you can't cut after 5 yards. I've really got to train that because your question is leading me to saying, yes, absolutely, we should do that. Okay. And Dale Williams at Purdue, everybody knows, right? He's doing that, did a great job. So we're going to go to that. All right, next. Does your tight end make a 9 call to alert the pulling guard? He'll most likely pull inside. Yes, we do make calls on this alignment of that over there. Yes, that is all true. We also have an adjustment off of it where, we may push the tight end through and trap the end, but we're not talking about that. All right, RPO, when running an RPO technique and coaching, what are the coaching points on the tackle, backside, and the 5? Okay, inside footwork, up the field, straight up the field. Your backside knee drives to the play side knee of the 5 technique. Inside hand goes to the backside armpit. Play side hand goes to the play side armpit with your helmet on the number. Inside footwork, backside knee to play side knee is big. All right. Do you ever track the tight end to the mic and have the pull? Yeah, I just said that. Yep. Yeah. Coach Hennis, I hope I'm saying that right. Yes, I think I just answered that one. All right. What else is in your run packs besides pin and pull? Okay. Well, that's good. Zone, read option, power, counter. On play 23, could they have folded center and guard? I got to go back and look. I don't know what play 23 was. All right, let me go back to this. Okay, now I'm effed up. All right, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me take a look at this. Play 23. Oh, okay. Could play 23. Could they have done this and pulled the backside guard? If you're asking about pulling the backside guard here, absolutely they could have done that. Okay, so that's a good one. That's play 23. So the question was, could they have folded the center and the guard? The backside guard, yes. That's exactly right. Good point. I would say right there, based on our center's ability, you should have got that, but yes, you could. Favorite constraint plays off of it. I don't know what a constraint play is, so you have to hit me back. If your tight end has difficulty with the down block, can he detach to gain leverage? Yes. Okay. We have done that, and I don't have examples of it, but yes, we could motion him down inside. Okay. So that was play 23. Good question on that. Could they have pulled the backside guard? Yes, they could have. Okay, I'm on play 25 now. Okay, and look, I'm not putting these on here for any particular reason. It is who it is, who we're playing. Okay, good. So this is just, I'm trying to show right here that the backside, right, the center's work is always going to be on the backside, the pull is for the front side. Okay, so this one here, I'm not sure why the center pulled this. Okay, honestly, I think I would have run through. I guess he had some kind of indicator. He knew what was up. Maybe we heard their calls and knew what the run-through call was, whatever. All right, and this is a lock on the backside. This is one where you got to tell the back, okay, look, man, use your blockers. Okay, use your blockers, okay? And the center's pull right here, he got to run, man. He got to go, okay? And so does this guard need to run. All right, so we've got to play, but if he's going to run past him, he's on his own, but he got more than 5 yards, so I guess we're good with it. Okay, so I'm not going to show it from that angle because I really want to move forward on this and then maybe hit some more. I'm trying to stay on time, Okay, so a little bit of practice work here. I think this may have been the spring. We were actually able to get 10 practices in. Okay, good. This is, okay, so you were asking about the pull the backside guard. Good, I'm glad you asked it. Here it is. Okay, so now we're pulling the backside guard on this. And the reason we did that, and we said that the center was really driving that, right? So the center knows, hey, the Mike, his assignment is the middle of 3. There's no way he's going to get there to zone it, right? So he says, okay, well, look, make a call right there. Bogey this, all right, and pull the backside guard around for this, okay? So that's his work. The +1 is here. We pulled the guard for that, and there's a good look at it, okay? And then we just got to finish the play. And if you take a look on the backside now, all right, with this 4-3 look that we're practicing against, okay, you can see our our tackle come up and block the -1, and the quarterback has his eyes ready. I don't have this from both angles, I don't think. Okay, so I got a couple of bunch tosses in here because we're talking about some of that scheme and stuff, you know, with the 2 tight ends and blocking them. All right, so I'm going to go. Okay, you're going to have to tell me what a constraint anonymous attendee famous favorite constraint. That's a good word. I just don't know what it is. All right, if your tight end has difficulty, can you detail? I said that. You skip pull guards on counter schemes also. No. Okay, so on the counter schemes, we flat pull the guards. Okay, we definitely want to trap that. All right, so I'm going to start dismissing. All right, we have different ways of pulling our guards. Okay, so the backside guard, by the way, if we pull the backside guard on this play, it would be just like the center pull. It's got to be a flat pull. All right, so otherwise he's not going to be able to get there in time. Okay. All right. All right, next one. Are you running an outside zone or stretch in your package? The answer would be outside zone or stretch in package. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We'll run that. We'll run the outside zone in that look. And, you know, there's different ways of doing it, okay? So we're kind of looking at game plan and adjustments in the game. We like the pin and pull because it gives us man blocking, allows us angles. We love to have angles. If we find that a front is, you know, they're getting a lot of twisting games or movement or, you know, flow, that type of thing, then we may go ahead and run that, okay? One thing that you should notice on those, and hopefully it showed, was that play isn't necessarily always outside, okay? We have the ability to cut that play up, and putting the back offset, which I chose to do in this look, really shows a lot about how we can make the ball go to the outside, or if it's not there, cut up to the inside. It's not a definitive play, always going to the outside. All right. I'll hit a couple more of these here because I can see them right now. All right. Q&A. Perfect. All right. Do you have play action off of this or just an RPO? All right. Our play action off of this, we just run the RPO off of this, really not a play action. We go more to a zone on the play action. And that's what we're doing right now. All right. How do you run the naked off a zone look? Do you skip pull guards on power schemes? Yes, we do. All right. Do you say not to run your pin out of 10? Yes. All right. Look, because here's what we're doing with that. If you're saying 10 personnel, the way we're describing the play, we would have a wide receiver blocking a defensive end. If we ran it out of 11 and motioned a tight end type of body down to block one of those ends, it's just a mismatch thing. We don't run the pin and pull with the tackle down and the guard pull to nobody, or I guess the defensive end. So that's why we don't do it. All right, just because it's really a physical mismatch, the way that we're talking about it. Okay. All right.
Hey, Coach, about 8 minutes. Okay.
All right. So what should I do at 8 minutes? Just like sign off?
Yeah, I'll be back and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'll just keep going till you tell me to stop. How's that sound? All right. So good. So here we go. So let's go to some of these bunch tosses because it answers a lot of the questions. Okay. About things that we're doing and, you know, what we're doing. Now, I'm going to cover this fairly quickly. Okay. You guys, look, you get it on the replay, whatever. All right. But we did our bunch tosses by 1, 2, and 3. We counted outside in, so that our number 3 was basically number 3 is always the puller. Okay. So if you ran it into a wing, number 3 was the tackle pulling. If you ran it to the bunch, the inside receiver, tight end, whoever that is. The next 2 guys, they're always going to be our down blockers, okay, or our pin and wall type players, okay? Let me grab this. All right, so our pin, these two are down, he's going to pull because he's 3. These two are down, he's going to pull. And we zone the inside, okay? And there's a couple of looks in here that, I got 8 minutes, so let's take a look, right? So here we go. All right, good. So we have different names for these: tank, truck, semi, diesel, etc. Okay. All right. So what I say is we make the bunch any way we want. Okay. Number 3 is always the puller and the kick out. All right. We do have a play where our tackle is going to be, he's always going to pull into the bunch play. So, all right, you line them up, make them where you want. This wide receiver, this a tight end, this a tight end, or make number 3 a receiver. It doesn't matter. Okay. So he's going to block down. He's going to pin. This guy's going to wall. Okay. Number 3 now being the kick out blocker. And now our tackle is going to pull for anything from the bottom up or the top down, meaning, all right, he's going to look for the safety. But if somebody misses, the mic runs over the top, we have someone there to pick him up. And these are all drawn up and shown out of a toss play. All right. I do have a couple in there that are attached tight ends, so I kind of want to get to those. Okay. All right. So here's a look at it right here. Okay. These are practice cuts. All right. So number 3 right here. Okay. The puller, number 3, is going to be number 44. All right. So pin, wall, kick out. Okay. And we're pulling the tackle, who's number 60 right here, for anything from the bottom up. So who ends up being really the Mike linebacker. Okay, so we full zone the backside and everybody's running. We want the guard to reach this. Okay, we actually would like to have our guard reach and run him into this tight end, all right, to create a speed bump. But that's what the play looks like. Okay, so this would be a look of a toss play. Okay, now look, I wouldn't run this necessarily offset. Okay, there's too many moving pieces on this side. There's too much to read. But out of the toss play, even though there's some penetration on this, again, this is pin and pull now, right? Even though there's some penetration, the toss, the ball carrier's spacing out leverages him from the penetration. I thought we had this in the wide. Maybe we don't. Okay. All right. Here's a good look at one from the wide, just from practice. Okay. All right. Now, this is a look of, and we could talk about 2 different ways. Now we've got this look where we've got a wing type formation over here. Okay, so now let's just answer the question right now and go through the pin and pull off of the offset. Yeah, we could go ahead and we could down block here. Okay, we could pin this. Okay, and we could pull our guard out for the next defender and get our center through however we decided to. And I'm talking now just in the offset, right? Because that was one of the questions. We'll take the back out. But this is just a scheme we're not talking about today, right? Yes, we could do that, but we would always make that a different play so that we don't have any confusion on exactly who we're pulling for, okay? So, for example, in this look, if we ran this play and that's how we wanted to do it, all right, and we were going to pull him out for really +2, it's a different play, just to give him a nice target and make the communication the right way, all right? Based on what we had done by saying that the center's work was going to be the middle of the 3 here, right? And the 2 tight ends maybe blocking, the next puller that's going to take our second, or in other words, this would be the pullers on that one. So we'd have to change assignments. Okay, you with me? And this is just another look at the pin and pull, though, where you can look that it's full zoned. And you can see the pin and pull type of combination right here, okay? And just so we got this, okay? So the tight end on this, look, this is this way, guys, okay? There's 1, there's 2. Now number 3, he motioned over. So now he's going to be the kick out, okay? The rules for these guys: head up to inside, on or off the line of scrimmage, and zone the rest of it. Okay, so I'm going to pause right here, because I can't see these questions. Okay, I got 4. All right. Can you email a set of the PowerPoints? Okay, if you, I'm not sure how to do that, just based on Coach Baker. I'm not sure how to do that. You got to get Ben DeBastiani. Okay. If you could, I think there's a way. If you could shoot me an email, I think that's provided. I'll pass it on to Ben, who's our graduate assistant, and see if he can get that done. Just based on my home office, I don't know I can do that. What defensive alignments to your tight bunches give you the most issues on toss? A wide defensive end and the linebacker outside. All right, so Coach Alex Smith. All right, so what you want to do if you got them all over playing it, you better have a combination where you can gap the thing back inside, all right, and change the play. Would you hand that off out of the pistols, Coach Scarpelli? No. Are you talking on the bunch? I would not, just based on the problems you can have with the penetration. Okay. All right. Fire up chips. I like that, Alex. Yeah, fire up, man. Okay. And I'm going to just show a couple more of these and then I'm out. Okay. Because I said we'd talk about those because I had a couple game clips in here. All right. Coach, you asked a question about what gives you problems. Okay. That's why I put this one in. If everybody overplays your formation here, all right, and you got a bunch toss in, you may want, if everybody's playing outside, you may want to change that play and get some type of gapping play maybe, or maybe just turn and hand the ball off the other way, because that's what kills these plays is wide fronts. And this is an example of guys really doing a great job, getting through and blocking. But I also wanted to show that, number one, number two, number three, and now our tackle's pulling through for the first thing, top down or bottom up, however you say it. This dude shows up, he's going to block him, okay? And that tackle at that point, by the way, we really – it's tough to tell the tackle not to skip pull this to get there. So we open pull him on this. But so that's a look at the and then one here, okay? All right, this is an old one, but it's sure the same one. I thought we had one. Okay. All right, last play, guys. Anybody who's still listening to me. This is a look at the double teams, the two tight ends double teaming right here. Okay. And this is the toss play, but this would be the idea of how we're going to block this. Okay. So we double teamed off here, pulled the tackle outside and ran the center through. Okay. So you can see the double team combinations right there. Anyway. Okay. That's going to be it, guys. I'll take a couple more questions, then go watch somebody else do this. And, that's it. Thanks for the time.
All right, Coach. Thank you. That was awesome. We appreciate you, Coach.
All right, man. Fire up.